One, and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the T Kingdom podcast. And of course, I am your host. And I guess this is my co-host, as you know, we've been getting very popular. She's been getting popular rather, because everybody keeps talking about Michelle and Michelle's podcast and oh yeah, you. So, I guess she's more popular than me. But anyway, nevertheless, it's been a while. We're back, and you know, we're gonna get into the competitive situation a little later, but it's no your boy did his thing, and we will touch on that. But before that, there's some other things on the horizon, and as you can see, we have a special guest with us in the building. So, with that being said, I thought that it would be a great addition to the podcast to have my better half on the podcast because people have been asking me. People are curious, and I'm a man of the people, so we give the people what they want. So this is my girlfriend Lindsay. Miss Lindsay is on the podcast with us today. Um,
Hey.
she, she is not, um, somebody particularly cares for the limelight, so it's very difficult to coax her into coming on the podcast. But now, nevertheless, she is here, so we are going to make the best of this time. So my whole thought process behind having her on the podcast because I wanted to give her perspective um, on somebody coming into the industry and dating a bodybuilder when they have zero knowledge or experience of not only dating a bodybuilder but dating a bodybuilder while they're in prep specifically because it is very trying, it's very difficult and rigorous. As you know, there are a lot of ups and downs in bodybuilding prep. Emotions, hormones, hangriness, all the above. And it's not a difficult thing for relationships in general, let alone a newcomer into the industry of fitness, tagging along. So, Michelle, you chime in if you have any questions. But first and foremost, I still don't understand myself. Like I vaguely remember the conversation about me being like, it's not a great time. I'm like 7 weeks out, I think, at this point. I'm like, listen, I'm about to be an asshole of assholes. I'm already asshole in the off season, but now I'm about to put my cape on that says asshole on top of me being an asshole. So it's gonna be very difficult. I'm super laser focused this time around. I'm trying to get my pro card. And like the funny thing about it is I remember the first conversation that we ever had, and she was like the her standpoint and her personality from first
Gosh.
conversation to now is completely different. It's so hilarious. She was acting so hard, like to the point I'm just like, damn, I don't even know if I'll be able to handle this girl. Like she was talking so much cash, like yeah, I don't really need anyone. I'm not looking for a relationship, and you know what I'm saying. Like I just whoop de whoop. If somebody says this, and it's just whatever, and I'm dipping and all this. I'm like, damn, all right, like cool, like. And at the time, that's what I told myself I was looking for as well. So it kind of worked, right? So we begin and proceeded to talk, and I guess that for me, the first conversation was very um shocking for one. It was very eye opening to me because it was so different than a lot of these little bimbos that I was usually talking to, right? Like they were just she had a lot of substance to her conversation, which surprised me and intrigued me. Because unfortunately, your boy, since he works out and may be a little fit, and I'm not so hard on the eyes, the type of women who tend to be attracted to me can't really put a sentence together. You know what I mean? So they look at me as a piece of meat to objectify your boy. So because of that, they really don't have anything in between, their ears and shit. So having a conversation is usually asking way too fucking much. So it's very shocking that she could actually put words together and keep a conversation going and be receptive of my conversation. So that right there already intrigued me off the bat, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm in trouble." So then we proceeded to talk. She's gonna get her chance to tell her side of the story, right? Now, but mind you, this whole time I'm reaffirming that I'm in prep, because I know that she doesn't really understand what that means. So I'm not really understand. I'm not really knowing what her I don't want to say motive, but her thought process would be, or expectations rather. So I'm like, listen, I got to eat every 2.5 hours. Like, I really don't go nowhere. I'm a hermit anyway. Like, whoop de woo, all that. And she stuck around, right? We kept talking and this and that. And what, you came down like after a week, wasn't it? That sounds terrible. Was it a week?
Yeah, it was probably like a week at least.
Yeah.
Of talking all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. She came down and saw your boy after a week, and I was like, I don't know if this girl, her dad could be Michael Myers himself. I don't know. So I had to, take precautions and make sure that my locks were working effectively and all that. You know what I mean? I'm a little fragile when I'm in prep. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't know how strong she was. No, I'm kidding. It was cool, but I mean, I really did, like, within the first 2 or 3 days, we were just so locked in and engaged with each other, not literally, but metaphorically in a sense of conversation, that we'd have like 4 or 5 hour long conversations. So we covered a lot of ground in that short amount of time of getting to know each other. And because of the distance, it caused us to enhance our communication. Therefore, a week might not sound like a lot of time, but when you're talking to somebody every day for 4 to 5 hours a day, you tend to learn a lot more than if you convoluted that time with physical presence. You wouldn't be talking as much, if that makes sense. So because of that, we felt like we really knew each other by the time like that week ended, because we would just want to talk to each other all the time when we talked and we talked and we talked. So that being said, she came down and it was like we knew each other for like a year. It was weird. Like, when you first meet somebody, you kind of have that eeriness of like, it's just kind of awkward type shit like that. For me, none of that was there. It was apparent. None of that was apparent at all. I was shocked that she actually came, but it didn't feel like awkward, or was no dead silence. It was just kind of like we're just picking up where we left off type of thing. It was different. You know what I'm saying? So,
sweet.
If you explain to them your first, how I want to say, your first thought or experience in meeting me in the middle of prep, like what were you overwhelmed? Were you intimidated? Did you know what to think? Like, what was your first impression of me coming down when you first came down and saw me?
Well, I was definitely intimidated because, I mean, I've never dated anybody that like looked like him. So it was just kind of like, okay, like I haven't, definitely never dated a bodybuilder. First of all, never dated anybody that, took such good care of their physique or cared that much that they would look like him. So yeah, I was intimidated because I'm like, okay, like I work out like sometimes, like I'm not huge on it, but like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, like I eat healthy, but like I also don't. And he's talking about carbs and macros and this and that. And I'm like, sure. So it was like a lot to take in, I think, like at first. And like he would just talk and talk. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you have to like explain like like everything to me, like break it down so much. Like I know it's exhausting, but like that we just talked all the time about it because it's definitely his passion and what's going on with him. And this is all like way more personal than I wanted to get, by the way. But I think, and just like talking to him too, like that's kind of like what sealed the deal for me, just to see him so passionate about, like, most people aren't even passionate about like one thing in their life, like the way that he is. And I don't know, it just was like really, if you know Larry in person, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like he's just like magnetic. Like you just want to like keep listening to him and be around him. So of course, like I was like, yeah, like I guess let's do this. Like let's see what happens. I'm like, cool, you're kind of emotionally unavailable. I'm here for that because like like it always sounds good at the time, but you just never know. So I'm like, okay, cool. So if like we need to go our separate ways, like both of us will be cool with it because I'm busy, he's busy. there was just so many things that I was like, okay, cool. And then like I met him, I'm like, oh no, oh no. I'm like, I like him. So I was like, what are we going to do? And I don't know, just like from there, I was like, all right, well, we're doing this thing. So yeah, it's been an adjustment. It's crazy, but you can ask me specifically other things.
Damn, you can make me all emotional and shit in here. Damn. Fucking going. She's like, I'm not gonna go that deep, but yeah. But
But
no, I mean,
you went deep. So like I had to be, like that's it though. That's as deep as we're going.
hold on now. We gotta keep it PG. You talk we live now. Oh, you talking about metaphorically. Anyway, so back.
Wow.
See, you brought too much attention to it. See? Right. See, Michelle did that. Blame that on her. Anyway. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. Like it's hard to explain, but it's unusual for me because like bodybuilders, like we're like, even the men, we act like females doing prep because the hormones that we do take and all this other shit, it's got us feeling a certain type of way, depending on, where our hormones are at a specific time. Sometimes you want to slap a motherfucker. Sometimes you want to cry. You know what I'm saying? So then you add a relationship element into that. Like sometimes you're acting like a bitch. Sometimes you're acting like He-Man, so like it was kind of new for me. And like one of the things I think that helped me is I had like a almost 2-year hiatus from any type of relationship, like to that degree, like as far as like having to be receptive to somebody else's feelings. So like all the things I've been working on since my, departure from my last situation that I vowed that I would be better at, I got to kind of put in practice, but not really because I was still in prep. But I did find myself like saying shit that I really didn't mean, and then being like, fuck, like I need to go like apologize because I was in my feelings. I was, saying shit that was real out of fucking whatever. But at the same time, it's weird because I'm not so inconsistent to that degree when I'm not in prep. So like sometimes I would say shit when I'd be really in my feelings for no fucking reason. Like really in my feelings for no fucking reason. And like it would be some petty Skittles bullshit. And then I would fucking say that like the illest shit. And I was like, God damn. Because you gotta say something. Like I couldn't just let it be like that. But it helped me be able to like understand that it's not so bad apologizing. It's not so bad owning your shit. Am I perfect at it? 100% no. But I'm better than what I was. And that's the only thing you can really ask for out of yourself, is to be the best version of yourself each and every day. So I did witness that. And you can't just do that with anybody. I feel like there's only certain people that can click with you to a certain way to make you be better. And the people in your life that help you be better, it's essential that you keep those people around. It's essential that you humble yourself and that you make sure that you are somewhat submissive to those people, because if not, those people will no longer be there. And the arrogance of man is thinking that we can do anything we fucking want and still have the same outcome. Hence why I've been divorced. Right? So don't fucking do that. To all my young audience listeners out there who are 22, 23, the girl who's fucking doing everything for you, fucking let her know that shit and make sure you protect that, because if you don't, she will no longer be there and she will be in the arms of Tyrone. That's a fucking terrible place to be. Because
I think you brought up a really good point in saying that we do talk about bodybuilding a lot because obviously that's the sport that we chose to partake in. But the average person, like the layman, doesn't understand what it takes to get on stage. And I had this conversation with a non-competitor not too long ago, and they were like, I had no idea this is literally what you guys have to go through, from anywhere from 20 weeks, 16 weeks, 12 weeks, however long your prep is, for per show. And then the off season, like we don't ever get, just if you're super serious about it, you don't ever get a downtime ever. Even your off season, you work just as hard as you do when you're in prep. But I do think it takes a very, very special individual, if you choose to share your life with somebody who understands that. And I think that Lindsay has definitely encompassed the whole kit and caboodle of it, as far as her, you know, doing her research, asking the right questions, even though what she deems her questions are because she wants to know, or because she honestly doesn't know the answer, because you're an asshole, because you're on day number 17 of no
Facts.
carbs.
Facts.
And you've had, you know, you've done your 4 a.m. fasted cardio and you're working on fumes and you want to bite her fucking head off. I'm like, no, 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 no. Don't talk to her that way. You need to go fucking apologize, because she didn't choose this life. You chose this life. And she's choosing to help you and do whatever it is that you need. But sometimes we get wrapped up in our own shit. I'm quick to do it too. Last prep, I literally sat at work and had a full-fledged meltdown because I couldn't open the fucking Tupperware quick enough. I sat at my desk at work and boo-hooed because I couldn't, it like I put it in the microwave and it suctioned itself shut and I couldn't open it. And I sat there and cried over Tupperware 3 weeks out. Tupperware. Everyone was like, are you okay? And I'm like,
All
I
right, so
can't over the Tupperware.
I'm gonna admit some shit that probably never I would ever say in any other circumstance, but just because you said what you said, I'm gonna say what I'm about to say. I was watching Dragon Ball Z the other night, right? I've watched this series 1,000,001 times, literally. One of my characters died on there, and I even knew that he was gonna get Shenron the dragon and bring him back to life. But it was something about the way that he died that really made me kind of start crying, like low key. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I was like, what? It wasn't even this then. It fucked me up for like a whole, like, I woke up in the morning and I was still like, I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Listen, when you prep and you're a bodybuilder, bodybuilders know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, it's fucking weird. And it's like, you have those ebbs and flows, and it's just, I would not recommend somebody get in a relationship during their prep. However, sometimes the best things can happen when you least expect it. So that's kind of what happened. And it was kind of, both of us went into this knowing that, okay, we need to like not really just kind of kick it, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like, that was our thought process. Like, we were both in agreement. Like, we were both like die hard like that. Like, when we first started talking, like, we said it like probably 10 times in like a 10-minute conversation. But then, like, you never know, like, shit, this happens, and you can't, you know, sometimes the best things happen organically. I'm just gonna say that. But so, I mean, how was it just like describing like this lifestyle to your parents when, because there were times where like they're like, why are you always going down there? Like, how come you can never come up here? Which is a reasonable question, right? Because you would think like, okay, I'm the man, and here I have her, she's always coming to me. So it was definitely a reasonable question. So I mean, how was that conversation of you not only explaining to some mysterious man in Indiana, but then now you're going down to see him all the time, and you have to be the one to come down here? Like, what's up with that? So how did you have that conversation with them? You have to tell them like the exact conversation, but how did it go?
So yeah, I feel like we still kind of always have conversations, because I can't ever tell them everything enough at one time. Because, you know, we've had to have multiple conversations. So, you know, when we first started talking, and like, I remember coming home and I was telling my mom that I was coming home because she watched the kids. So I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm on my way. And I was like, Mom, I was like, I like him. And she's like, but he lives so far away, and we'll talk. And just like the more that like I was kind of explaining things, and she's like, well, why can't he come here? I'm like, well, he has to like eat every so often, and then like he doesn't have everything here that he needs. It would just be a lot of things to pack. And I was like, you know, we did look into gyms around here, but I live in the middle of nowhere. Like, in the county that I live, there's one gym. I go to it, and I was like, I know that this doesn't have the stuff that he would need during prep. And I would never be selfish enough to ask him to do anything to risk prep for me, to see me. Of course I want to spend as much time as I can with him, obviously, but not at the sake of risking any little thing to go wrong, because I know how much it means to him. I would feel terrible. But just trying to convey all that to another person, and of course, being their daughter, they want to make sure that like, okay, well, like, what's he doing for you? And you're going here. But I think that like they're starting to understand a little bit more just as time kind of goes on. I'm like, yeah, but remember, he hasn't, I was talking to my mom about it today. I'm trying to think of what all was said. I'm like, but yeah, mom, but you have to remember that he hasn't like been eating correctly or all of these things. Oh, we were talking about driving. She's like, said something about, I was like, yeah, I was driving. She's like, oh, how did he feel about that? Because I'm not a good driver.
I've
So it's
literally
like a
never said
known
anything.
thing, like, oh, they've been in the car with you? Like, ooh. So I was like, yeah, like the day before, like he can't drive. She's like, why? And I'm like, oh, maybe because he's been depleting his water and losing weight and dying. And she's just kind of like, oh, like, I didn't know. Like, so
It's so funny to like hear that come full circle, because like I feel like that's how like we are when we talk to regular people. Like, why can't you do this? I mean, well, fuck. Like, I depleted my water. I'm dehydrated. I'm like now she's like turn. That's just so funny. But yeah, I mean, that's 100 though. Like it's even though she don't really like. This reminds me of my dad, because my dad never told me he was really proud of me. Never told me any of that. You know, I'd win a basketball game. He'd be like, well, how come you let number 14 get by you? Type shit, right? But then you talk to anybody, you know, like my dad is talked to, like he would say all kinds of shit, but like he scored 32 point, like whoop de whoop. Like that's kind of how I feel like at this point, because like she only sees like the hard ass like most of the time, especially when I'm like dying and shit. But like all bullshit set aside, like she really has retained a lot, you know, as far as understanding not only what I'm doing, but why I'm doing it, which is gonna be a segue to, you know, a direction that I went lately. But so she was able to kind of like a lot of times I would like let her be like, yo, what do you think about this? And then she'd be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is bullshit because of this and that to the third. And I was like, yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Like, you know what I mean? So like she went from not knowing anything to me actually consulting with her on certain decisions that were very pinnacle in the clutch time, right? So with that being said, I mean, that's a testament to her wanting to learn and understand my world, because I feel like the average person trying to date and prep, they're not going to be that fortunate, because the normal average person, yeah, it sounds cool like to date a bodybuilder with the muscles and the look and all that, but then once you see like, damn, he's got to eat every 2.5 hours, damn, he can't really go nowhere, like, damn, he's cranky, like, damn, like all I smell is fucking asparagus and chicken, like, you know what I mean? Like they get detoured very quickly. But to have somebody come in and be very receptive and want to be attentive and to what you need and things like that, and to be selfless, is a true testament to their character or whatever. So with that being said, I wouldn't recommend somebody trying to date or be serious in a relationship. But then, you know, like Aaliyah said, 1 in a million. You know what I mean? Like you know, that's, you know, I had to say that for sure, man, because I would never in a million years think that was even possible. But to kind of move on from that, so your boy has went a new direction as far as coaches. I want to address this on my platform with the people who mean the most to me. I'm not going to get into details because I don't think that that's necessary, but I will say it was in my best interest. And I will also say that it wasn't anything personal. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna mention any names. I don't think that's um, important either. But I will say that I didn't want it to be personal because it wasn't personal. I'm gonna tell you why it wasn't personal. It wasn't personal on my behalf because this is what I want to do as a career. So what does that say? That says that this is my business. Every freaking spoonful or forkful of chicken I put in my mouth is business, believe it or not. Why? Because I want to do this as a career. So I have to make decisions based off my best interests. And sometimes that means me having to put my feelings aside and do what's in my best interest for not only myself, the well being of me, my kids, my significant other, you know what I'm saying? The people who were supporting me, my supporting cast. So I felt that it was just because by the grace of whoever is up there, if anybody, I pulled this show off because at the very end, I had to do something that was extreme, which I don't like to do in prep, but I had no other alternative. And I can't afford to put my time and energy on worried about something that I shouldn't necessarily have to worry about. So for whatever reason, you know, it came down to that because, as I said, I'm not going to give details. It's not about that. I can't afford to replicate that going forward. I can't chance if that's going to happen again. I don't want to gamble with my future. I don't want to gamble with my longevity. I don't want to gamble with the opportunity that's presented in front of me. No, I'm not old, but I'll be 34 this year. And in the sport, quote unquote, bodybuilding, there is a shelf life. So I have a very small window of time to make a wave in this sport, to be able to capitalize off of it, to make an income and career. So sometimes when you make business decisions and you have personal relationships, they don't end well. And unfortunately, that is the case. I have no malice on my heart. I have nothing personal in the form of any type of hatred or malice, like I said. I wish, everybody the best that was involved, but I had to do this, for the betterment of myself and my future. So if I had the opportunity to make the decision again, it'd be the same outcome. So moving forward, I will say that I am in the best place mentally, damn sure physically, because I worked my damn ass off in the damn off season to make sure that this came to fruition, and my future looks very bright. So the guidance that I'm under now, I'm very comfortable. I feel extremely confident having a 15-minute conversation with my new coach, Tyler Betson. He put everything I can think of at ease. And because of that, we are working together, and I feel like we're going to have a promising future, and I'm ready to go fuck Junior USA's up and take that motherfucking overall. I know a lot of people on social media been like thinking I'm too damn humble and I'm too all this. That's because, listen, I don't talk about it. I am about it. That's why. I come from a sports athletic background. I don't talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you gonna see me on the court, you're gonna see me on the field, or you're gonna see me on the stage. And that's, you know what I'm saying, this is what I know. So you better believe this was 16, 17 years in the making. I'm not gonna fucking just go out there just to go out there. I'm going out there because I'm going for blood, and I'm gonna go take what the fuck is mine. And that's what I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying, with Tyler Betson leading the helm. So for those, if you didn't fucking know, now you fucking know. Right? Like, so I wanted people to hear it here first before, the rumor mill had already started and all this and this, that to the third. I mean, I'm saying I'm not going to just leave a situation for no reason. So there it is. Now, moving on from that forever. Hopefully everybody watches this podcast. So I'm done with that shit. Woosah. So, yeah, the Kentucky Muscle went extremely well. It was a little. She can come in. She can come in. Sit. She can come
No,
in.
she cannot. No, she cannot.
Hello.
Okay.
How
I'm not leaving.
Okay. Go. I'm serious, girl.
are you? No, she's cute. She reminds me so much of Marley, like it's crazy.
That's what I was thinking.
She's so much of Marley. But
She's cute.
but the Kentucky Muscle went extremely well. Brought the best package to date. Again, so this is just X's and O's. This I'm not talking about the drama shit. Just X's and O's. I'm not gonna say the reason why. It's not important. But just know that Thursday night I was 172. Midday Thursday, I was 172.
The Thursday before the show.
Michelle's my witness, and I had to make weight at 165. Freaking the fuck out. Should never happen. You should be ready a week before, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you could lose a lot of water fluctuation, but you have to keep in mind when you're getting ready for a show, it should be peak week is bullshit. You know, if y'all haven't seen my interview with Christian, you know what I'm saying, the strength addicts, peak week is bullshit. You should land in the show like you're landing a plane. You should not have to do anything extreme. So before I say this, disclaimer, I do not recommend anybody fucking do this because you do not know how your body is going to, if it's going to respond in an adverse way. You know, that's the reason why you should never do anything extreme that close to the show. So I'm 172. Fuck, what am I going to do? I know that I'm lean. I know that I'm stage ready, but then I have all this fucking water on me. So what do I do? So I'm like, man, you know what? My boy got me hip to this Epsom salt bath. I hit him. I was like, yo, what I need to get? 6 bottles of fucking alcohol. Like the what's the green alcohol called? It's not rubbing alcohol. I can't remember what it's called. It starts with an I.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, that's what I got. 6 bottles. 2 bags of Epsom salt, all that shit in the damn bathtub, right? Now, but mind you, before this, I also drank Epsom salt because your boy didn't know it's a laxative. Mm-hmm. So I drank it too. I drank 8 ounces of water and 3 tablespoons of Epsom salt before I even made the bath. So I'm in the bath. I'm watching Godzilla vs. King Kong for the 90 billionth time. So I could keep my black ass in the tub and not get out. So I'm laying in there, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm laying in the damn bed and shit for a whole hour. I get out, 2.5 pounds gone. So now I'm like 169 some change. Well, this ain't enough. So I'm like, fuck, I'm all discouraged and shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Whatever. It's late. I'll regroup in the morning. Between then in the morning, every hour on the hour, I'm giving birth, literally. And I was like, holy shit. So then I saw from 169 to 167, to 167 to 166.5, to 166.5 to 1. I woke up 166. I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool. So now what do I do? All right, so I put some thermals on, put a hoodie on, put another hoodie on top of that hoodie on, put some sweatpants on, put some socks and some more socks on. And I carried my ass to the damn sauna. And I downloaded a whole DMX, like 2 DMX albums on my phone. I laid in that motherfucker like a G for an hour, came out, came home, and peeled my damn clothes off like it was a damn onion. Looked up at the sky and said, please don't let me go out like this. Stepped on the damn scale and I was 165.0. I couldn't fucking believe it. I literally sent a damn picture to everybody I know on my damn phone almost of 165.0. They probably didn't know why. But I was so fucking happy that I fucking got down to 160.5. To make a long story short, your boy weighed in. So made weight for welterweight bodybuilding in classic physique class A. And started the carb up process on my own prerogative. And I kept getting harder. I kept getting harder and harder. So so let me tell you, this is X's and O's, right? Take it forward with this X's and O's. So after check-ins, immediately went to Five Guys. I got two burgers, like triple patty, shit, right?
Huge.
I got, they give you a big ass thing of fries. And I ate that whole shit, man. And like, I was freaking out. I was low key kind of like, because usually in past, like my body would just absorb it. My stomach would be completely flat. It looked like I was in my third trimester. So I'm like, oh fuck, this is not good. This is not good. So I literally passed out. Like I slobbered all over her head. Like I was laying on her, like behind her and shit. Like I like literally slobbered all over her. Fucking like this is how fucking like I was in a deep coma after this shit. So I woke up like I don't know how many hours later. Didn't eat any of my meals. The only thing I ate. And then I was like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck I do now. So I think I ate like maybe 60 grams of cream of rice, one rice cake, and took my black ass to sleep. I did put my rice cakes by the toilet because I took a diazide. It's a diuretic, and I know I'd be getting up to piss. So every time I got up to piss, my thought process was I'll eat a rice cake. So I only woke up twice. So I wasn't getting rid of a lot of water. So it's another thing, kind of like whatever. So when I woke up in the morning, I didn't even want to look in the mirror. I was like, fuck, I don't even want to look. So I ate a rice cake. Okay, I guess I gotta look at myself now. When I took my fucking pants down, pause, my legs look fucking ridiculous. I was like, what in the entire fuck? This shit looked like something off Jurassic Park. I was just fucking beside myself. So I'm like, okay, we back on track. So then I'm like, I'm about to go get some of these damn pancakes. We went to IHOP. I got like maybe 5 pancakes or some shit like that. And, the brother started getting, scared and shit again. So I only ate half of them. I had the full syrup and shit. I had a coffee, maybe drunk like an ounce of it. I didn't drink that much. I was sipping. So after that, like I look good, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. I think I need to fill out more. And, I was told by some other people, some shit I didn't really want to hear that really didn't really do anything. That kind of made me upset. And I was like, okay, I'm really on my own prerogative now. So then I was like, okay, cool. I get there. I'm fuck it. I got brought a whole sleeve of rice cakes. It's boom. Go into the bathroom. My shit looks stupid. Like I was like, it's hard to explain to people who've never done it before. But if you've ever like, I don't know, some fucking whitening strips, you got a haircut and the shit went extremely well, you can't stop looking at yourself. I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, all right, cool. So then I went out, prejudging, killed it. And I'm like, damn, like I look, because again, every time I'm on stage, it never fails. I don't think that I look that good for some reason. I don't know why. I've never thought that I've looked that good while I'm on stage. It's when I get off stage and people start coming up to me and like showing me and shit. I was like, yo. So then I was like, all right, shit, cool. So then I got my rhythm down. Backstage, in between every time I went on stage, I'm eating one rice cake. I had 3 like little chocolate candies with caramels. So I had 1 rice cake, three chocolates. And then every now and then I'd put a dime size of salt in my hand. Boom. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of wine. As the day went on, I got harder. Some people fade. I got harder. So now after prejudge is completely done because, I had bodybuilding and I compete in classics. So I'm on stage. So after prejudging, I'm like, in the past, I would have got a burger and fries, but I want to be smarter about this. So I was talking to Lindsay and I was like, yo, you know what? I need some bagels. I need some lean ground beef and some sweet potato fries. Like the good kind, the healthy kind. So she came in with the clutch. She got the Alexa. I'm like, oh shit, this is a good sign. So then she's over there like cooking that shit up. I'm ready for this shit. So then like I literally took like the bagels and made a burger out of the bagels. Ate 2 of them. Ate some Alexis sweet potato fries. And then I took a couple sips of red wine before we left to go back for the evening show. Got there. That shit was gone. So then I carved up a little bit more, some rice cakes, some candy. I kept on getting harder and harder and fucking harder. By the time it was all said and done with, I looked stupid. It was the best result that I could ever ask for. But the shit was tight, son. At first, like I didn't know eventually I was gonna be able to pull that shit off. So that shit was like, you know what I mean? But never do anything extreme right before the show. Don't ever do that shit. I just
would like to
body.
I want to piggyback off of that because you said something really interesting in Christian's interview last night, is that you shouldn't do crazy shit peak week. At that point, the whole purpose, even though you hate that terminology, the whole purpose of peak week is to take that last week after you just literally went through 16 to 20 weeks of complete bullshit to let your body rest. This is the time where you wind down your workouts. This is the time where you get as much sleep as possible. This is the time for us women anyway, where you go ahead and you get your nails, your hair, your feet done, that kind of stuff. It's like a self-care week to keep your cortisol levels at the absolute lowest they can possibly be. The past 2 years that I've competed, I actually took this advice from you is I take peak week off from work. So I don't have to deal with no bullshit. I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I work for LSR and then I'm a personal trainer too. So I'm very lucky that I'm able to make my own schedule as far as being a personal trainer, and then working for LSR, they always work around your show schedules anyway. But taking that week off, it makes the fucking difference. I don't have to drive to work. I don't have to leave my house if I don't want to. If I don't want to deal with people, I don't have to. We have enough technology that if I really need something, I'll FaceTime Larry or somebody and be like, hey, I need this, that, and the third. And that's about it. It's supposed to keep your cortisol levels as low as humanly possible. All the work should be absolutely done a week and a half to 2 weeks before your show is even here. Like everything should be done. Your suit should be customized and ordered. You should have your nail, like everything should be done. So that week, you literally don't have shit to do other than like little tiny minuscule last minute things. Right. So that when you show up for check-ins on Friday, it's easy cheese. And then you're able, and you're not, so people don't understand how very, very stressful it can be to try to scramble there towards the end when your body's not doing what it's supposed to be doing in less than 48 hours when you're supposed to step on stage. You've worked 4+ months to look the way that you do, and you've got 48 hours to figure out what the fuck's going on with your body, whether you're spilling over, whether you're not making weight like Larry. There's been a couple of cases where because I do work for LSR, where even 20-30 seconds before girls step on stage, they snap their bikinis and their connectors break, and we don't, we have to figure out how to tie that shit together and rig it and glue it, and it's stressful enough that you just want everything to line up and so you can just literally go on autopilot and then bring the best package that you can possibly bring on stage. So kudos to you for figuring that shit out, because I know you were pressed and you had every reason to be. But it shouldn't be that way. Like I'm saying, that last week, Tuesday, Wednesday should be your last workout. Sleep in, take naps, cuddle your kitties, do whatever makes you happy, because you work so fucking hard for so long that last 48 hours should be, you should just be chilling on the couch. Your feet are supposed to be up anyway, not, trying to figure out what's going on and why your body's not doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. Man, thinking back on it, this shit was crazy. That being said, your boy is coaching now, so I kind of gave you the bullet points of my expertise. So I don't want to make it commercial, but tkfitness1987.com at gmail.com. If you happen to give a fuck and you need somebody to coach you, hit your boy up. But anyway, so now I want to kind of shift gears a little bit. So yeah, I will be attending Junior USA's in South Carolina on May the 13th, or is it 12th, 13th, one of those days. And I'll be doing pre-judging for Classic, because you cannot turn pro as a bodybuilder, so I'm not going to waste money in doing it. So I'm going to be doing Classic Physique Class A, where I am trying to fucking take the overall. Fuck, just winning my class. So anyway, but that
it's
being,
13th, by the way.
What's that?
It's the 13th.
13th, there you go. So I'm documenting this shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to start this new series and I get my fucking technical situation worked out, and I can edit videos again. You will have a vlog for the Kentucky Muscle, because I have a whole bunch of content, not just my own, but my new videographer was gracious enough to get a lot of good video footage of me as well. So that will be included. And I'm also going to be documenting at the Kentucky Muscle, but Junior USA's, because he will be riding with us down in South Carolina. So we had to get a B&B. To the B&B? Am I fucking tripping? What's it? Airbnb. Yeah, yeah. So we're going to keep
prep brain.
We're going to keep it PG-13 because we have we're going to have friendlies in the car, and then the Airbnb. Sorry, unless you want me to talk about that shit, but I'm just saying. But anyway, so no, yeah, everything was good to plan, and hopefully we can put a punctuation on this in the next 15 days. So Michelle has the Kentucky State coming up, the Kentucky Open coming up here in August. It's in August, right?
Yes, yeah. It's August 24th, I believe.
She'll be bringing her best look to date because, like I said, physiques are made in the off season, not prep. In her off season, she looks almost damn near as good as she did in her pre-contest season. So it's going to be a very intriguing showing for her, and I'm looking forward to that because we're going to be collaborating in this prep. So, do you have any? I'm sure you do, because you the type that you like to be taking, videos and pictures like every day.
You talking
every
to me?
day? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I've never in my life seen somebody with as many profile pictures as you in my entire life.
I changed my profile picture in a hot ass minute. What you mean?
You change your profile picture daily. I'm like, damn.
Don't be hating. Okay, don't hate.
I've never in my entire IG career, no, Facebook. You really be doing it on Facebook. You be doing the most.
Yes, I do.
Let's see if we can get a physique update.
Well, I mean, listen.
This is, go follow her, by the way. This is her fitness account.
Yes, please do. But that one right there, that's my current physique. That is what I look like currently. And I am about 15 and a half weeks out from Kentucky Open. My goal is to, bring my absolute best package as well. But my goal is also to win overall so that I may qualify for my card. I'm pretty confident in the structure that I have now in the off season. I can't wait to see, what it's going to look like when I get these layers peeled off, especially now that I do see, even so far out, I'm starting to see striations in my thighs that I haven't seen before. So that's pretty exciting.
I'm telling you right now, if you get your legs all the way where they need to be, you're gonna be a fucking problem. Because so let me explain. So in figure, you want it's a silhouette game, right? So you want the broad shoulders, right, to come down to a waist that's nothing and back out again into quads that sweep. So that's the reason why you hear the term X frame, right? Well, Michelle is actually pretty fucking tall to be in figure. Usually a lot of figure girls are shorter, right? It's no different than me, right? If somebody in classic has the same shape as me in the same condition, but they're bigger, there's nothing I can do with that. Like, I'm fucked. So Michelle is like very fucking tall to be figure, but she has amazing shape and symmetry. Only thing she needs to do is dial in her legs. If she dials in her legs, she's gonna be a fucking problem. So that's one thing that she had the same exact issue as I have. I'm just further along now. My legs are finally starting to come together and have more quad separation. But I mean, same with me. Hey, I get my fucking legs together, I'm gonna be a fucking problem. I'm gonna be very fucking hard to beat at nationals. That's not me trying to say whatever. It's just what it is, right? Because I've literally spent the last 15 16 years of my life trying to make sure that my symmetry is what it needs to be, trying to make sure that everything has been brought up. That's the last piece of the puzzle,
right?
You know what I mean? So I feel like I can speak confidently about that. But I do know that's one thing that I need to put together myself. So over the couple years I've known her, her composition has just went through like it's crazy to see the change in her composition is so extreme and so drastic.
I mean, this is only this is only my 4th season. So the Open will be my 4th show. Muscle memory is a great thing.
I'm gonna give her a hug when next time I see her.
So I talked to her yesterday.
I'm just putting that out there. Oh, Lindsay, you know Mallory, right?
Mallory, yeah, I talked to her yesterday, and I
She
told her
literally
how amazing you were, or how amazing she was to you, and she says you're very welcome. And
listen, if it had not been for this girl right here, I would not have won bodybuilding. I would not have won classic. I would have not won shit. I lost my fucking button that has my number on it. You can't compete unless you have that shit. I'm like, I got to be on stage in like no time. I have no time to find it. Ran to the bathroom and wasn't there. That's the last place I can recall. She literally went above and beyond to go get a button. They allowed her to actually write my number on there.
Yep.
And that's how I fucking got on stage for bodybuilding.
Yep. She said that you were so stressed out, and man, she knew who you were. She knew who Lindsay was. And I made sure I told everybody at LSR, I said, if you're going to do anything for me, please take care of him. And so she said, she said, I would have done it for anybody, but she said, I knew how important he is to you. So I did make sure that, you know, I did what I needed to do to find that button for him so he could get on stage. She was like, any other time, you know, don't get us wrong. We'll do the best that we can, but there's only so much we can do while we're spraying, because we got to get you in, got to get you out and move on to the next competitor. But she was like, poor Larry was just freaking out, and he knew he couldn't step on stage without his number. So, you know, I gave my gun to somebody else. And when I mean gun, it's a spray gun. I just want to make that clear. I went ahead and I gave my gun to somebody else. And, you know, I ran up front and was like, one of my competitors lost his number. Like, what can we do? And they're like, oh, we have a whole bag of empty badges here. Yeah. So she was like, well, can I have one, please? So they gave it to her. She wrote his number on there and she was able to run it back to him. So I think that's also a really good case in point, Larry, that you always say that bodybuilding is such a selfish ass sport. But if it wasn't for the people behind the scenes and the people that we choose to have in our corner or have on your team or whatever terminology you want to use, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't make it. And I know Larry's done plenty of preps by himself. I've done my past 2 of them essentially by myself, with the exception of him and like a couple other people. But it's hard shit. It is hard fucking shit. We rely on others a lot more than we care to give them credit for, because there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. So I know Larry was very thankful to Mallory. I know that he is over the motherfucking moon for Lindsay and everything that she's done for him. So it's vital to have really good, supportive and understanding people in your corner when you compete like this, because it's something else for sure.
So it's been, yes, we're at an hour now. So do we have any closing remarks?
I do. Do you have anything to say before I jump on the bandwagon here, Lindsay?
What are you going to say?
Oh, no, I'm not. Nothing.
Oh.
I didn't say anything. I was just wanting to make sure that, you know, I didn't steal your thunder or whatever.
No, I was just wondering if you were going to say something and then like, I'll be like.
No, I just want to say on my behalf, Larry, I cannot begin to tell you how proud doesn't even begin to cover it. There is no word. Like, I've been trying to think of like a word that describes the emotions that I feel for you, seeing you grow over the past 2.5, almost 3 years, as an individual, as a businessman, as a person, as a partner, as a father, as a son. I have literally seen you just grow. And I am so, 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 so proud of you. And
all right, now, hey, you know I'm
I'm just
emotional right now.
saying,
We doing
I'm
this shit to me.
emotional too, clearly, because my eyes are watering. And I'm so incredibly humble and thankful to be in your corner and to be able to witness your growth, because it's something that is astronomical. To see someone that you genuinely love grow, there's nothing like it. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And I'm so very glad that you are able to share it with someone as awesome as Lindsay. And Lindsay and I have never even made it to meet face to face yet. We've never been in the same room together. And she takes such good care of you. And that warms my fucking soul for you, that you're able to have someone else in your corner like that. But I just want to say, I can't wait. I'm going to South Carolina as well, not as with them, but it's for work. So I'm going to be able to be there with him and help him out as much as possible. Obviously take care of him backstage, make sure he's got everything that he needs that maybe Lindsay won't be able to have access to backstage. But I just wanted to say, homie, I got you until the wheels fall off. You know that, but I am so proud of you. I am so unbelievably proud of you. And it's your time to shine. And I can't wait for the world to see what I've been seeing for the past 3 years, and that you've always had issues seeing in yourself, because now everyone's going to see it, and you are going to get everything that you so rightfully deserve, because you're an amazing individual. So that's what I have to say.
Damn, man, I don't know how I can say anything after that shit.
Aww.
Damn, wow. I will say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, first and foremost, we are not a trouble.
No, we are not.
Michelle is my best friend. Lindsay is my girlfriend, the only one. And that's how we rock. Because apparently people think that we are in a relationship, because I've been tagging both of them in all of my shit. But so just to clear that up. However,
they're like, Larry's got it. He's got 2 of them. No, honey. It's not like that. It's not like that.
But no, in all seriousness, you know, I'm a big proponent in understanding that I keep my circle small, because I know a lot of people full of bullshit and they're fake. And you very rarely meet somebody who you click with and is going to tell you how it is, when it is, and how it should be. And fortunate enough for me, I have 2 incredible people in my life who do just that on a daily basis. I'm very fortunate for that. And I could not be who I am, when I could not have achieved what I've achieved without these 2 people who you see in front of you. So that's the reason why having this podcast meant a lot to me, because I'm not only introducing the world to them, but I'm introducing them to the world, because these are the 2 people who mean so much to me. And I want to share that with you all on my podcast. And this podcast is not just about bodybuilding, X's and O's and weights, but it's about me, my personal relationships and everything, because like I said, I give y'all me. So this is part of me. They are part of me, and they are part of what makes me successful in my endeavors. So to me, this is more of an appreciation, to them, and honoring them for not my win, but our win, because this is my team. And because of my team is the reason why I have this voice, this platform, and this win. So I look forward to be able to duplicating this going forward. I look forward to being able to strengthen my relationships with these 2 incredible individuals. And I also look forward to be a part of their team, to cheer them on and help them, in all their endeavors in the future. So I say transcend your kingdom, because that's just what it is for me. It's transcending the people I love and seeing them win, and seeing them, persevere through the things in life. And damn sure, because they've done it for me, so I'm going to always do it for them. And that's what I stand for, and that's what my brand stands for. So until next time, if you've made this far, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the support I've gotten this far, whether you see me in the street, the gym, or on social media. And we're not going anywhere. We're gonna keep pumping these videos out. God willing, and make sure we get content out to you all. But for now, always make your next move your best move and transcend your kingdom. Peace.